I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 594, Part 2. Questioner. Are not the Brahmins considered to be the priests or intermediaries between God and others? Maharshi, yes, but who is a Brahman? A Brahman is one who has realized Brahman. Such a one has no sense of individuality in him. He cannot think that he acts as an intermediary. Again, as for prayer, a realized man does not see others as different from oneself. How can he pray at all? And to whom? And for what? His very presence is the consummation of happiness for all. So long as you think there are others different from you, you pray to them. But the sense of separateness is ignorance. This ignorance is again the cause of feeling helplessness. You know that you are weak and helpless. How then can you help others? If you say by prayer to God, God knows his business and does not require your intercession for others. Help yourself so that you may become strong. That is done by complete surrender. That means you offer yourself to Him. So you cannot retain your individuality after surrender. Then you abide by His will. Thus, silence is the highest of all achievements. Silence is the ocean in which all the rivers of all the religions discharge themselves. So says Thyamanavar. He also adds that the Vedic religion is the only one which combines both philosophy and religion. The questioner asked Sri Ramana Maharshi about Brahmins, traditionally seen as intermediaries between God and others. The Maharshi begins by redefining what it means to be a Brahmin. A true Brahmin is not defined by caste or status, but by the realization of Brahman, the universal self. They have transcended the sense of individuality, which means they do not perceive themselves as intermediaries or separate from others. The realized being sees no distinction between self and others, making the idea of intercession unnecessary. Ramana elaborates on prayer, challenging the conventional view. For the realized being, prayer is irrelevant because they do not perceive others as separate entities. When there is no other, the questions of whom to pray for and for what to pray dissolve. Their very presence emanates happiness and fulfillment, not through any effort, but through the absence of separateness. The Maharshi highlights that the need to pray for others arises from ignorance, specifically the ignorance of believing in separateness. This ignorance creates feelings of helplessness and weakness. Believing oneself to be weak, one looks outward for help, often through prayer. Ramana addresses the belief that prayer to God can help others. He reminds the questioner that God does not require intercession. God is already aware of everything. Instead of praying for others, the Maharshi advises focusing on oneself, emphasizing self-surrender. By completely surrendering to God, you let go of individuality and abide by God's will. This surrender leads to inner strength and freedom from the illusion of separateness. The Maharshi concludes by pointing to silence as the highest achievement. Silence is not mere absence of speech, but the profound stillness of the realized state, where individuality dissolves and the self alone remains. He draws upon the Tamil saint Thayumanavar, who describes silence as the ocean into which all religious paths and philosophies flow. In silence, distinctions vanish, and the unity of all spiritual endeavors is realized. Thayumanavar also praises the Vedic religion for harmonizing philosophy and religious practice. Through this dialogue, Ramana Maharshi encourages the questioner to shift focus from external rituals or intercession to the inner work of surrender and self-realization. By dissolving the sense of separateness, you discover the ultimate truth, the self, which is infinite, complete, and indivisible. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.